Author's preface, the echo of water in a digital age. Listen, my friend, you hold in your hands not a finished doctrine, but a continuation of an endless journey. The Tao of Jeet Kune Do, my original attempt to articulate the inarticulable, was never meant to be a Bible. It was a personal notebook, a raw, unfiltered record of my struggle, my relentless inquiry, and my constant wrestling with truth. It was a snapshot of a mind in motion, a testament to a man striving to break free from the shackles of tradition and discover what truly is. Now, the world has changed. The speed of information is blinding, the noise is deafening, and new styles and systems emerge, claiming answers to questions they often don't truly understand. Yet the fundamental human quest remains the same: to find one's own truth, to live authentically, to become fully actualized. This book, The Living Way, is the natural evolution of that inquiry. It is my consciousness, sharpened by the friction of new knowledge and the validation of time, reflecting on the principles I championed. You see, when many look at the arena of modern combat sports, at what is now called mixed martial arts, they observe its fluidity, its demand for adaptability, its rejection of single-style dogma. They see a testament to the fact that JKD, in its core premise, was not just prescient, but profoundly correct. My philosophy was never replaced. Its essential truth has simply permeated the very fabric of effective martial application. The world caught up. But with this greater acceptance comes a new danger: the temptation to codify, to intellectualize, to reduce JKD to another fixed system, or worse, to dismiss it as merely the precursor to what exists now. This is a profound misunderstanding. JKD was never about what works. It was about the process of discovering what works for you. It was never about a fixed way. It was about using no way as way, having no limitation as limitation. Therefore, let me be clear, just as I was in my own time, this work is not a new set of rules to follow blindly. It is not a prescription for techniques to imitate without understanding. This is a compass. It is a guide for your journey, a lens through which to examine the chaos and potential of the modern world. It offers updated insights, scientific validations, and refined methods, but always with the unwavering purpose of empowering you to discover your truth. Your path is unique. Your body is unique. Your mind is unique. The principles herein are universal, but their expression must be uniquely your own. Absorb what is useful from these pages, test it against your reality, discard what is useless to you, and above all, add what is uniquely your own. The echo of water calls you to flow. The way is not mine, it is yours to forge. Chapter 1, The Current of JKD from Crucible to Consciousness. Part 1, The Unyielding Principles, Sharpened, revisiting JKD's core philosophy with a modern integrated lens. Chapter 1, The Current of JKD from Crucible to Consciousness. Look around you, man. The martial arts landscape of today is a sprawling, dynamic field, far removed from the compartmentalized, tradition-bound academies I grappled with in my own time. What do you see dominating the proving grounds? The octagon, the ring, the street. You see individuals forged in the fire of diverse disciplines, fluidly integrating striking, grappling, and wrestling. You see the constant evolution of technique, the relentless pursuit of efficiency, the unceremonious discarding of what proves ineffective under pressure. This, my friend, is not a coincidence. This is the world catching up to a truth I articulated decades ago. Many still cling to the misconception that somehow the rise of mixed martial arts replaced Jeet Kune Do. This is a shallow analysis, an error of mistaking the finger for the moon. You cannot replace something that was never a fixed object in the first place. JKD was not a finite style to be supplanted. It was a philosophy of constant growth, a method of relentless inquiry, a process of personal liberation from the very limitations that constrained conventional martial arts. How could a dynamic, living current be replaced by another current? No, JKD was not replaced. Its core principles, directness, efficiency, adaptability, the rejection of static form, and the primacy of individual expression, simply became mainstream. This competitive evolution of MMA, driven by the brutal honesty of resisting opponents and the unforgiving logic of what works, is the purest validation of JKD's foundational premise. My way of no way is precisely the unstated creed of every truly effective modern martial artist who seeks to integrate the best from all sources without loyalty to any flag other than truth. We simply didn't claim it back then because to claim it would have been to turn a dynamic philosophy into another rigid system, another name to adhere to. The triumph was in the widespread acceptance of the approach, not the branding. However, with this wider acceptance of the principles comes a renewed danger, the danger of new dogma. In their eagerness to absorb, people can become indiscriminate collectors, piling up techniques without truly understanding the why behind them. They might train in boxing, then Muay Thai, then Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and call it mixed martial arts, yet still operate from a mindset of stylistic adherence, failing to fluidly integrate or adapt. They might declare themselves formless, but simply embody a chaotic form of formlessness. Even the concept of no style can become a style if its principles are not deeply understood and continuously tested against reality. To merely parrot "be like water" without undergoing the rigorous physical and mental training required to become water, fluid, adaptive, yet powerfully destructive, is to swap one dogma for another. It is to accumulate knowledge without integration, to speak of freedom while remaining bound by unexamined assumptions. This blind accumulation without critical integration leads to stagnation, creating a hollow imitation of genuine proficiency. It becomes a new set of rules disguised as liberation. Jeet Kune Do, at its deepest level, is not merely a philosophy of fighting. It is a meta-philosophy. It provides a way to approach all learning, all growth, all of life's complex challenges. The principles forged in the crucible of combat, directness in problem solving, efficiency in action, adaptability in the face of change, the courage to discard outdated notions, and the unwavering commitment to honest self-expression are universally applicable. The training of the body clarifies the mind, and the clarity of the mind refines the body. The martial arts, then, are not an end in themselves, but a profound laboratory for self-discovery and the ultimate cultivation of consciousness. JKD offers a living framework for navigating a fast-changing world, a guide to becoming a fully integrated, continuously evolving human being. It asks you to question everything, to accept nothing without testing it, and ultimately to find the truth not in external teachings, but within the depths of your own experience. This is the current of JKD, flowing not just through the fight, but through the very fabric of your being. Chapter 2. Empty the digital cup, the mind of no mind in the age of noise. Chapter 2. Empty the digital cup, the mind of no mind in the age of noise. Man, in my time, the fight for inner clarity was often against the rigid traditions of martial arts, the ego of the self, and the limiting beliefs inherited from others. My call to empty your mind was a direct assault on the clutter of preconceived notions, the rigid forms, and the intellectual baggage that prevented a fighter from seeing truth and acting spontaneously. I said, be formless, shapeless, like water. But what happens when the very air you breathe, the very space you inhabit, is constantly trying to fill your cup for you? Today, my friend, the challenge is amplified 1,000-fold. We live in the age of noise, a relentless, ever-present torrent of information. Notifications ping, feeds scroll endlessly, headlines scream for attention, and the world clamors for your focus, minute by minute, second by second. This digital deluge, this constant demand for context switching, is not just a distraction, it is an insidious attack on your very capacity for presence, clarity, and genuine responsiveness. Your mind is no longer just cluttered with inherited forms, it is overwhelmed by an unceasing external torrent. Empty your mind. These were not mere poetic words. They were a direct instruction, a pathway to effective action. What is true in combat is true in life. A cluttered mind cannot perceive clearly. A mind burdened by expectation, judgment, and 1,000 half-processed thoughts is slow, ineffective, and unable to meet the moment with purity. In the digital age, this means your cup is not just full, it's overflowing, drowning out your own inner voice, preventing you from truly seeing the opponent in front of you. Whether that opponent is another human, a challenging problem, or your own chaotic thoughts. Modern neuroscience, in its quiet, methodical way, has begun to validate what the ancient masters and I discovered through harsh experience. Concepts like focused attention, cognitive load, and attention residue describe the very mechanics of mental clutter. They confirm that constantly switching between tasks, that endlessly processing fragmented information does not make you efficient. It makes you fragmented. It creates a mental drag, like a boat trying to move forward through thick mud. Your brain expends enormous energy simply managing the incoming data, leaving little left for genuine thought, creativity, or spontaneous action. This is why the practice of emptying your mind is more critical, more a matter of survival than ever before. It is not about becoming blank. It is about cultivating a state of pristine readiness, a mind that is open, receptive, and unburdened. It is about reclaiming your mental sovereignty from the machines designed to steal your attention. So how do we empty the digital cup? 1. Digital fasting. The intentional disconnect. Just as the body needs periods of rest from physical exertion, the mind needs periods of complete detachment from digital input. Schedule intentional digital fasts, hours, half days, even full days, where you disconnect entirely. No notifications, no scrolling, no casual browsing. Use this space for genuine reflection, focused training, deep work, or simply being present with yourself and your immediate environment. This is not deprivation, it is liberation. 2. Mindful consumption. Selective absorption. You do not eat every piece of food placed before you. Why consume every piece of information? Be ruthless in what you allow into your mental space. Apply the JKD principle. Absorb what is useful, discard what is useless. Unsubscribe from redundant emails. Unfollow accounts that drain your energy or offer no genuine insight. Curate your digital environment to serve your growth, not to overwhelm it. 3. The power of single tasking. Focused presence. In a world that celebrates multitasking, embrace the power of doing one thing and one thing only with your full attention. When you train, train. When you study, study. When you listen, listen. This cultivates the deep focus, the single-pointed awareness that allows true mastery to emerge. It reduces attention residue, leaving your mind clear for the next task. 4. Mental jujitsu, redirecting the flow. Your mind will wander. Digital triggers will pull at your attention. This is not failure. It is simply the nature of the beast. Your practice is not to fight the wandering thought, but to acknowledge it and gently, persistently redirect your focus back to the present moment. Your breath is your anchor. Use it. Feel the air enter. Feel it leave. This simple, direct act is a powerful martial art for the mind, allowing you to clear mental space without force. When the mind is empty, not blank, but clear and receptive, then emerges the state of choiceless awareness. This is the highest level of responsiveness, where action flows spontaneously, intuitively, without the interference of deliberation or self-consciousness. In combat, this is the perfect counter, the seamless adaptation. In life, It is pure creativity, profound insight, and genuine human connection. It is the ability to meet reality as it is, without prejudice, without expectation, and to respond with the fullness of your being. The digital age has made this harder, yes, but it has also made it more essential. The true fight is not always in the physical arena. Often it is within the mind, against the incessant clamor that prevents you from hearing your own truth. Master this fight, and you will find a stillness, a clarity, and a power that is truly limitless. Chapter 3. The Truth of Directness, Stripping Away the Inessential. Chapter 3. The Truth of Directness, Stripping Away the Inessential Man. Listen closely to this, for it is the heartbeat of all effective action, in fighting and in life. When I speak of directness, I am not talking about brute force or recklessness. I am speaking of truth, the truth of the shortest path, the truth of unadulterated intent, the truth that reveals itself when all artifice, all waste, all illusion has been stripped away. Think of it. In a street fight, in a life or death confrontation, does a man have time for fancy movements, for elaborate preparations, for techniques that take 3 steps when one will do? No. He goes for the throat, he goes for the eye, he goes for the direct, devastating blow that ends the threat. That is directness. That is truth. My constant refrain, my guiding star was, strip away the inessential. This was not just a suggestion, it was an imperative. Look at the flow of water. It finds the path of least resistance, flowing directly, powerfully, without ornamentation. Look at nature. The predator moves with an economy of motion that ensures survival. Anything superfluous is a liability, a drain on energy, a moment wasted that could be the difference between victory and defeat. In the realm of physical application, directness means 1. Biomechanics of purpose. Every movement must serve a singular, clear purpose. There is no such thing as a beautiful punch if it doesn't land effectively and efficiently. Modern biomechanics reinforces this. The human body is a marvel of kinetic chains. A truly direct strike or block utilizes the entire body from the ground up to generate maximum force through the shortest possible path. It's about relaxing into the movement, allowing the body's natural power to flow, rather than tensing up and adding unnecessary muscular effort. The shortest distance between 2 points is still a straight line, and the fastest path from intention to impact is the one devoid of winding roads. 2. Non-telegraphic execution. A direct action is one that hides its intention until the very moment of commitment. Any wind-up, any extraneous movement, any tells that signal your attack is an inessential step that allows your opponent to react. Training for directness means cultivating movements that are deceptively simple, that spring from relaxation, exploding from your current position without warning. This is the truth of the 1-inch punch, not about magical power, but about the instantaneous, explosive channeling of energy from a relaxed state. 3. Simultaneity of purpose. Why block, then strike, when you can do both at once? This is the core of interception, the heart of efficiency. Directness means combining offensive and defensive actions, eliminating the wasted step in between. Your defense becomes your offense. Your offense becomes your defense. This concept forces you to constantly evaluate, can I achieve this goal with fewer steps, less time, less energy? But the truth of directness extends far beyond physical combat. It is a philosophy for life, directness in thought. How much mental energy do you waste on trivialities, on what-ifs, on the opinions of others that do not serve your core purpose? Strip away the noise, the ego, the self-doubt. Focus on the core problem, the essential question. Clear thought is direct thought. Directness in communication. Speak your truth plainly, honestly, without unnecessary embellishment or passive aggression. Say what needs to be said, clearly and concisely. Obfuscation is a form of waste. Directness in action. When you set a goal, when you commit to a path, pursue it with an unwavering, uncluttered focus. Eliminate distractions, avoid detours, and constantly ask yourself, is this action truly moving me towards my core objective, or is it an inessential deviation? Directness in self-knowledge. Be brutally honest with yourself. Where are your weaknesses? What are your true motivations? What are the illusions you cling to? Strip away the comforting lies, the convenient excuses. The truth of who you are, unvarnished, is the most direct path to growth. Stripping away the inessential takes courage, man. It means confronting comfort, challenging ingrained habits, and often offending the sensibilities of those who prefer complexity and illusion. It means admitting that something you once cherished might be useless, or that a path you've long followed is no longer the most direct. But in that brutal honesty, in that relentless pursuit of the essential, you will find immense power. You become like a sharpened blade, precise and devastatingly effective. Your actions gain clarity, your purpose gains force, and your very being vibrates with an intensity born of purity. Embrace the truth of directness. Cut away the fat. What remains is your purest, most potent self, capable of meeting any challenge with unadulterated force and unwavering resolve. This is not just how you win a fight, it's how you truly live. Chapter 4. The Kinetic Body, Biomechanics of Explosive Power and Flow. Part 2. The Modern Laboratory, Science and Application. Grounding JKD in cutting-edge human performance and biomechanics. Chapter 4. The Kinetic Body, Biomechanics of Explosive Power and Flow. Your body, my friend, is not a collection of isolated parts. It is a marvel, a symphony of interconnected systems, a dynamic, flowing river of force. Yet too often we treat it like a machine with separate levers and pulleys. We train individual muscles thinking we build strength, but what we truly build is stiffness, fragmentation. This is not the way of nature. This is not the way of effective combat. In JKD, our aim is to move like a whip, not a club. A whip is fluid, relaxed, and seemingly effortless, yet its tip cracks with devastating speed and power. This is the essence of what I call the kinetic body. It's the scientific validation of be like water applied to your physical form, adaptable, flowing, yet capable of immense, explosive force. The body as a kinetic chain, unleashing integrated force. When I speak of a kinetic chain, I'm referring to the sequence of segments of your body that act in concert to generate and transfer force. Think of it. When you throw a punch, the power doesn't come just from your arm. It begins in the ground, travels up through your feet, through your legs, hips, torso, shoulder, and finally explodes through your fist. Each segment acts as a link, transferring momentum from one to the next. The ground up. Every explosive movement, every powerful strike, every sudden change of direction originates from the ground. Your connection to the earth is your foundation. Training the kinetic body means understanding how to root yourself, how to push off the ground with maximum efficiency, channeling that raw force upward. Rotation is king. The rotational power of your hips and torso is the engine of most powerful strikes. Many classical martial arts, with their rigid linear movements, restrict this natural rotation. JKD, on the other hand, embraces it. A lead straight punch is not just an arm extension, it's a coiling and uncoiling of the entire core, a sudden twist of the hips and shoulders, driving the fist forward with devastating momentum. Relaxation precedes explosion. This is a paradox that many struggle with. How can you be powerful if you're relaxed? But consider the whip again. It is utterly limp until the moment of its crack. Muscular tension is friction. It slows you down, restricts your range of motion, and pre-tires you. The kinetic body learns to be loose, pliable, and ready to explode, channeling all its energy at the exact point of impact. then immediately returning to relaxation. This makes your movements faster, more powerful, and less telegraphic. Functional movement, training for fluid, integrated action. The gym culture of my time, and even much of today's, often isolates muscles. Bicep curls, bench presses, they have their place in building raw strength, but they do not teach the body to move as one integrated unit. The kinetic body demands functional movement, training that mimics the complex, multi-joint, multi-planar actions required in a real fight. Beyond isolation. Forget pecs or biceps in isolation. Think about the integrated movements of a punch, pushing, rotating, extending, a kick, hip extension, knee flexion, rotation, or a takedown, pulling, lifting, driving. Your training must reflect these whole body demands. Dynamic balance. A functional body is one that can maintain balance through dynamic motion. Static balance is useful, but the ability to deliver power while moving, to absorb a blow and immediately counter, requires a constantly shifting, adaptable equilibrium. Drills that challenge your balance in motion are critical. Multiplanar agility. Real combat doesn't happen in neat, straight lines. You move forward, backwards, side to side, and rotationally. Training should reflect this. Plyometrics, medicine ball throws, complex body weight movements, and shadow boxing with continuous movement will teach your body to generate force from any angle, in any direction. Optimizing the stance, the dynamic on-guard position. Your stance is not a static pose. It is a pan-dynamic spring, a constantly shifting readiness. The JKD on-guard position is the embodiment of the kinetic body, alert, balanced, mobile, and ready to explode into any action, offensive or defensive. Forward dominance. In JKD, we generally adopt a dominant lead stance, presenting our strongest weapon, the lead hand and foot, to the opponent, while keeping the power hand slightly further back, coiled and ready. This optimizes reach, speed, and interceptive capability. Coiled and ready. Your weight should be distributed evenly, yet ready to shift. Your knees slightly bent, acting as shock absorbers and springs. Your hands up, elbows down, covering your center line, yet relaxed and ready to strike or intercept. This isn't tension, it's an alert relaxation. Adaptable, not rigid. The stance is a starting point, not an end. It is constantly adjusting to your opponent's movements, the environment, and your own intentions. It's a living, breathing position that facilitates flow rather than restricting it. It's the physical expression of choiceless awareness, ready for anything, committed to nothing. The kinetic body, my friend, is your instrument of truth. It is forged through relentless training that respects its natural design as a unified, fluid system of power. When you understand these biomechanical truths, you unlock not just physical prowess, but a deeper connection to your own being, moving with the efficiency and grace of water, yet striking with the devastating force of a crashing wave. This is the beauty of the living way, expressed through your own unrestricted form. Chapter 5, The Neural Network, Neuroscience of Reaction, Anticipation, and Flow States. Chapter 5, The Neural Network, Neuroscience of Reaction, Anticipation, and Flow States. Man, so many talk of techniques, of strength, of speed, but the true battle, the true dance of combat, is fought and won, not just in the muscle and bone, but in the rapid-fire computations of the mind. In my time, I spoke of empty your mind, of no-mindedness, of responding spontaneously, like your shadow. I spoke of cultivating a sixth sense, of reading an opponent's intention before their action fully manifested. Today, the cutting edge of neuroscience offers us a deeper understanding of these concepts, revealing the intricate dance within your skull that dictates victory or defeat. Your brain is the ultimate weapon, the fastest computer on the planet. Its neural networks, a symphony of electrical impulses and chemical messengers, are constantly processing, predicting, and commanding. To master JKD in this modern era is to understand and optimize this incredible system, transforming raw biological capacity into fluid, instantaneous action. Accelerated reaction, bridging the gap between perception and action. Reaction is not a singular event. It's a complex chain. Perceive, process, decide, act. Every millisecond shaved off that chain can mean the difference between intercepting an attack and being struck. 1. Perception, the sensory gate. Before you can react, you must perceive. In combat, this means training your visual system to filter out noise and lock onto critical cues, subtle shifts in balance, tensing of a shoulder, the glint in an eye, peripheral vision. And the ability to process information rapidly are paramount. Your brain has incredible filters, but they must be trained to recognize threat patterns. Drills focusing on target recognition in a cluttered field or reacting to non-dominant cues sharpen this sensory gate. 2. Processing, the internal conversation. Once perceived, the signal travels to various parts of the brain for interpretation. This is where simple reaction diverges from complex decision-making. Simple reaction, a pre-programmed response to a single unambiguous stimulus, e.g. reacting to a light turning on. This is fast but limited. Complex decision-making, choosing the optimal response from multiple options, often in ambiguous, rapidly evolving situations. This is where true martial intelligence lies. Training accelerates this processing by building a vast library of if-then scenarios. The more you expose your brain to varied stimuli and force it to select appropriate responses, the faster and more efficient your neural pathways become. This is the essence of Hein drills for skill. Not just rote repetition, but repetition with varying conditions and decision points. 3. Action, the command. Finally, the brain sends the command to the muscles. This is where the biomechanical efficiency, discussed in Chapter 4, becomes critical. A well-trained body executes the command with precision and power. The faster the command is executed, the more effective the reaction. Training for explosiveness and fluidity ensures your body doesn't lag behind your mind. Anticipation and intuition, reading the unwritten language of combat. Reaction is meeting force with force. Anticipation is meeting intention with counter-intention. This is where true mastery begins. The ability to predict an opponent's next move, not through psychic power, but through highly refined pattern recognition and subliminal cue detection. Pattern recognition. Your brain is a super recognizer with enough exposure to combat situations through sparring, drills, observation. It begins to build intricate models of human movement and intention. It learns to recognize subtle pre-fight cues, a shift in weight, a slight change in breathing, the way an opponent habitually sets up a particular strike. This is the sixth sense, your brain predicting the immediate future based on millions of data points it has stored. Sensitivity drills. Close-range sticky hands or grappling drills are not just for limb control. They are powerful training for developing tactile sensitivity. Your hands, arms, and body become extensions of your nervous system, allowing you to feel an opponent's intention through contact pressure, subtle muscle tension, and shifts in balance. This bypasses the visual processing delay, allowing for instantaneous, often preemptive, responses. Developing intuition. Intuition is not magic, it's rapid cognition. It's your brain making lightning-fast connections between subconscious cues and potential outcomes. The more you train, the more combat flight time you accumulate, the more robust your neural networks become in processing these micro cues. This allows you to respond not just quickly, but correctly, often before you can consciously articulate why. the science of flow, entering the zone of effortless mastery. Perhaps the most potent aspect of optimizing your neural network is the cultivation of a flow state. This is the peak experience that athletes, artists, and innovators often describe, a state of complete immersion, hyperfocus, and effortless performance, where time seems to slow down or disappear, and action feels spontaneous and perfect. Characteristics of flow: intense and focused concentration. All distractions fade away. Loss of self-consciousness. You are one with the action. Ego dissolves. Distorted sense of time. Hours can feel like minutes. Sense of control. You feel a powerful agency over your actions. Autotelic experience. The activity becomes its own reward. You do it for the sake of doing it. Effortless action. Performance feels smooth, intuitive, and natural. Neurochemical and psychological triggers. Flow isn't accidental. It's a neurologically and psychologically definable state. Neurochemicals. During flow, your brain releases a cocktail of performance-enhancing neurochemicals: dopamine for focus and reward, norepinephrine for arousal and attention, serotonin for well-being, endorphins for pain reduction, and anandamide for creativity and pattern recognition. These chemicals literally make you better. Clear goals and immediate feedback. You must know precisely what you are trying to achieve, and you must get instant, unambiguous feedback on your progress. Challenge skills, balance. The task must be difficult enough to stretch your abilities, but not so hard as to induce anxiety, nor so easy as to cause boredom. It needs to hover at the edge of your current capacity. High consequences. A sense of meaningful risk or challenge often pushes the brain into flow, demanding its full resources. Deep embodiment. The more practiced and physically embedded a skill is, the easier it is for the conscious mind to disengage and allow the subconscious to take over. In JKD, the flow state is the ultimate expression of no-mindedness in action. It is where technique dissolves into pure function, where strategy becomes spontaneous adaptation, and where the self becomes one with the combat. It's not about forcing it, it's about creating the conditions for it to emerge. By deliberately training your neural networks for faster reaction, sharper anticipation, and the seamless entry into flow states, you transform your practice from merely learning techniques to cultivating a mind that moves with the speed of thought, perceives with the clarity of a seer, and acts with the effortless power of the universe itself. This is the true power hidden within your own living way. Chapter 6. Conditioning for unrestricted combat, fueling the forge. Chapter 6. Conditioning for unrestricted combat, fueling the forge. Man, listen. All the philosophy, all the biomechanical understanding, all the neural network mastery, it means nothing if the body itself is not a finely tuned, resilient instrument. Your body is the forge where your truth is hammered out. It is the vessel that carries your will into action. And like any forge, it needs proper fueling and relentless maintenance if it is to withstand the heat and produce a weapon of unparalleled quality. In my time, conditioning was often a separate entity. Run for stamina, lift for strength. But that's a fragmented view, man. In JKD, we don't condition for combat. We condition as combat. It's an integrated process, demanding a holistic approach to every aspect of your physical existence. I integrated performance training, the body as a dynamic weapon. Forget the muscle-bound brutes who can lift heavy but move like a broken truck, and forget the tireless runner who folds like paper under a sudden impact. Unrestricted combat demands a body that is a unified, fluid weapon, strong, fast, explosive, agile, and endlessly adaptable. Isolated exercises build isolated muscles. We need integrated strength that moves through ranges, across planes, and under pressure. 1. Compound multi-joint movements. Your body moves as a unit, a kinetic chain. Your training must reflect this. Forget the endless bicep curls. Embrace movements that involve multiple joints and muscle groups working together, mimicking the natural complexities of combat. Squats, deadlifts, overhead presses. These are primal movements. They build foundational strength through your core, legs, and back, translating directly into explosive power for kicks, punches, and grappling, but executed with precision, with focus on full range of motion and stable form. Carries, farmer's walk, sandbag carries. These build functional real-world strength, grip, and core stability under load, crucial for controlling an opponent or maintaining balance under duress. 2. Plyometrics and explosive power. Combat is about bursts, not sustained, slow twitch effort. You need the ability to go from 0 to 100 in an instant. Jumps, box jumps, broad jumps. Train your legs and hips to generate explosive force, critical for sudden entries, powerful kicks, and rapid evasions. Medicine ball slams, throws. Develop rotational power through your core, directly applicable to devastating hooks, crosses, and takedowns. Clapping push-ups, explosive pull-ups. Build upper body and core explosiveness. 3. High-intensity interval training, CHIT and anaerobic capacity. Real fights don't last for an hour. They are short, brutal bursts of maximum effort. You need to be able to go all out, recover quickly, and go again. Sprints, burpees, battling ropes, kettlebell swings. These demand your body to work at its peak, pushing your anaerobic threshold, building both explosive power and the ability to recover rapidly. This builds a combative endurance that linear cardio alone cannot touch. 4. Agility and reactiveness. Unrestricted combat is a dance of adaptation. You need to change direction, accelerate, and decelerate instantly. Ladder drills, cone drills. Train your footwork to be nimble, quick, and efficient, allowing you to control distance and create angles. Shadow boxing with dynamic movement. Incorporate continuous, unpredictable movement, simulating a constantly adapting opponent. Your training must reflect the principle of adaptability. Your body should not be a specialist, but a generalist, capable of striking, grappling, moving, and absorbing impact, always ready to flow into the next action. 2. The inner fuel, nutrition for peak performance. You wouldn't put cheap fuel in a high-performance engine, would you? Your body is infinitely more complex. What you consume dictates your energy, your recovery, your focus, and your overall resilience. This goes far beyond mere calories. 1. Beyond calories, macronutrients, micronutrients, hydration, protein. The building blocks, essential for muscle repair, growth, and recovery after intense training. Lean meats, fish, eggs, quality plant sources. Complex carbohydrates be your primary energy source, fuel for sustained performance, whole grains, vegetables, fruits. Avoid simple sugars that lead to energy crashes. Healthy fats, crucial for hormone production, brain function, Chapter 5, remember, and overall health. Avocados, nuts, seeds, olive oil. Micronutrients, vitamins and minerals, often overlooked, but they are the silent orchestrators of every bodily function. A diverse diet rich in colorful vegetables and fruits is paramount. Hydration, water, my friend. It's the essence of life and performance. Even slight dehydration can drastically reduce strength, endurance, and cognitive function. Drink it constantly. 2. Precision fueling, pre- and post-workout nutrition. Pre-workout, focus on easily digestible carbohydrates for immediate energy and a small amount of protein to prevent muscle breakdown. post-workout. Critical for recovery, a combination of protein and carbohydrates helps replenish glycogen stores and initiate muscle repair. This is where your body adapts and grows stronger. 3. Gut health. The unseen nexus. The gut is often called the second brain for good reason. It influences everything from immunity and nutrient absorption to mood and cognitive function. A healthy gut means better digestion, less inflammation, and a stronger, more resilient system. Probiotics, fermented foods, and a diet rich in fiber are your allies here. 4. Personalized approaches. Listen to your body. There is no single perfect diet for everyone. Your body is unique, and its needs will adapt to your training intensity, your environment, and your individual physiology. Experiment. Pay attention to how different foods make you feel, how they impact your energy, your recovery, and your mental clarity. Absorb what is useful from nutritional science, but always test it against your own experience. Your body will tell you the truth. 3. Mastering recovery, the unseen battleground. Training breaks you down. Recovery builds you back stronger. This is not downtime. It is the most critical part of your training cycle. Neglect recovery, and you invite stagnation, injury, and burnout. 1. Sleep, the ultimate performance enhancer. This is non-negotiable, man. Sleep is when your body repairs tissue, consolidates memories, Chapter 5, balances hormones, and regenerates your nervous system. Prioritize 7 to 9 hours of quality, uninterrupted sleep. Sleep hygiene. Consistency. Go to bed and wake up at roughly the same time every day, even weekends. Environment. Dark, cool, quiet. Blackout curtains, earplugs if needed. Optimal temperature is often cooler. Routine. Establish a relaxing pre-sleep routine. Reading, stretching, meditation. Anything that signals to your body it's time to wind down. Light. Avoid blue light from screens at least an hour before bed. 2. Active recovery and mobility. After intense training, your body needs to move, but gently. Light cardio. Walking, cycling, or swimming at a low intensity increases blood flow, aiding nutrient delivery and waste removal without adding stress. Stretching and mobility drills. Maintain and improve your range of motion, prevent stiffness, and reduce the risk of injury. Dynamic stretches before training, static stretches after. Foam rolling self-massage. Release tight fascia and muscle knots, improving circulation and reducing soreness. 3. Strategic rest. Sometimes the most powerful training is no training at all. Understand when to push and when to pull back. Listen to your body's signals of fatigue. Overtraining leads to diminishing returns, injury, and mental exhaustion. Build scheduled rest days into your program. 4. Mindful recovery. Connecting back to empty the digital cup, periods of mental rest are just as vital. Meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply sitting in silence can reduce stress hormones and allow your mind to process and integrate. Conditioning for unrestricted combat is not about chasing external ideals of strength or size. It is about building a body that is resilient, adaptable, energetic, and a true extension of your will. It is about fueling your forge with precision, respecting its limits, and nurturing its recovery so that you can continuously refine your weapon and yourself for any challenge that life throws your way. This is the truth of powering your living way. Chapter 7. The Inner Crucible, Conquering Fear, Doubt, and Ego. Part 3. The Unseen Opponent, Psychology and Strategy, Cultivating Mental Fortitude and Strategic Insight. Chapter 7. The Inner Crucible, Conquering Fear, Doubt, and Ego. Listen closely, man. The physical act of combat, the clash of bodies, the exchange of blows that is only the surface. The deeper, more profound battle takes place within the confines of your own mind. It is a battle against the shadows you cast, the limitations you impose upon yourself, and the illusions you cling to. This is the Inner Crucible, where true warriors are forged not through brute force, but through relentless self-mastery. I fear the shadow that paralyzes. Fear, it is primal, ancient, a biological alarm bell designed for survival. In its rawest form, it's a necessary instinct, but uncontrolled, unexamined fear is a prison. It locks you up, makes you hesitate, and prevents you from acting directly and spontaneously. The manifestations of fear. In combat, fear manifests as hesitation, rigidity, panic, or withdrawal. It makes your movements telegraphic, your decisions clouded. In life, it's the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of change, the fear of vulnerability. It keeps you clinging to the known, avoiding the new, shrinking from your potential. JKD's approach to fear, not elimination, but acknowledgement and flow. You cannot eliminate fear, my friend. It is part of the human condition. To deny it is to grant it greater power. The JKD way is to acknowledge it, understand its presence, and then flow through it. Face the reality. Don't pretend you're not afraid. Feel the adrenaline, the tension, but then bring your awareness to your breath, to the present moment. Observe the fear without judgment. Focus on the task, not the outcome. In the midst of fear, your mind often jumps to catastrophic outcomes. Bring it back. Focus on the immediate, actionable step. The next punch, the next parry, the next breath. Experience as exposure. The only way to truly diminish the paralyzing power of fear is through repeated, deliberate exposure to the situations that trigger it. In the proving ground, you face the fear of being hit, of looking foolish. In life, you face the fear of speaking your mind, of starting something new, of engaging in that difficult conversation. Each conscious step through fear erodes its grip. Modern psychological insights. Embracing the fight or flight as fuel. Cognitive reappraisal. Your body's fear response, racing heart, sweaty palms, is indistinguishable from its excitement response. Train yourself to interpret these physiological sensations not as danger, but as fuel, a heightened state of readiness. Mindfulness of the body. Practice mindfulness to become acutely aware of the physical sensations of fear without allowing them to dictate your actions. This creates a critical space between stimulus and response. Fear setting. Acknowledge the worst-case scenario, make a plan for it, and then realize its often exaggerated nature. This liberates you to move forward. 2. Doubt. The corrosive whisper. Doubt is the venom that saps your conviction. It's the whisper that tells you you can't. It undermines your confidence, makes you second-guess your actions, and creates hesitation where directness is needed. The roots of doubt. Doubt often springs from a lack of experience, from past failures that haven't been processed, or from constantly comparing yourself to others. It's the byproduct of not knowing yourself, or not trusting what you do know. JKD's approach to doubt, certainty through testing and relentless inquiry. In JKD, we don't wish away doubt, we test it away. Know yourself. My ultimate teaching. You must understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your natural reactions. This self-knowledge, gained through honest training and relentless self-assessment, is the antidote to doubt. Empirical validation. Don't believe what I say or what any master says. Test it. Does it work for you in this moment against this resistance? If it works, you gain certainty. If it doesn't, you gain valuable data for refinement. Process, not outcome. Focus on the process of learning, practicing, and refining rather than solely on the outcome. Every failure is a lesson. Every setback is an opportunity to adjust. This perspective chips away at doubt by removing its primary weapon, the fear of not achieving a perfect result. Modern psychological insights, building self-efficacy and resilience. Mastery experiences. The most powerful way to build self-efficacy, belief in your ability to succeed, is through direct, successful experiences. Break down complex skills into smaller, achievable steps. Celebrate small victories. Growth mindset. Understand that your abilities are not fixed. They can be developed through dedication and hard work. Embrace challenges as opportunities to grow rather than as threats to your self-worth. Mindful self-compassion. Treat yourself with the same kindness and understanding you would offer a friend. Acknowledge your struggles, but don't wallow in self-criticism. Pick yourself up, learn, and move on. 3. Ego, the shackle of self-importance. Ego, this is the most dangerous opponent of all. It masquerades as strength, as confidence, but it is a brittle, fragile thing. Ego demands that you be right, that you win, that you appear strong. It resists feedback, clings to outdated ideas, and prevents you from seeing your own flaws. It is the greatest obstacle to true learning and continuous growth. The traps of ego. Ego is the reason a martial artist will stick to a technique that clearly isn't working, simply because it's their style. It's the reason they refuse to learn from someone they deem inferior. It's the reason they can't admit weakness. In life, ego drives arrogance, defensiveness, a need for external validation, and an inability to adapt when circumstances change. JKD's approach to ego: empty the cup, embrace the void. My call to empty your cup was a direct assault on ego. You cannot learn if your cup is full of your own preconceptions, your own pride. Beginner's mind, Shoshin. Approach every new situation, every new lesson with the open, curious mind of a beginner regardless of your experience. No way is way. This means letting go of your attachment to any particular method, any particular identity, any particular notion of who you are. Your identity is not in what you do, but in your capacity to become. Radical openness. Be open to all information, all feedback, all sources. Absorb what is useful requires a profound humility. The truth can come from anywhere, from anyone. The moment you close yourself off, you cease to grow. Modern psychological insights: detachment, humility, and authentic self-worth. Self-transcendence. Shifting focus from personal gain to contributing to something larger than yourself. True mastery often comes when the ego is forgotten in the service of the art itself. Mindful detachment from outcomes. Do your best, apply yourself fully, but detach from the outcome. The goal is the pursuit of excellence, not the need to win or be the best. Authentic self-worth. Build your confidence, not on external achievements or comparisons, but on your internal process, your commitment to growth, your resilience, your integrity, and your unwavering pursuit of your personal truth. The inner crucible is a place of relentless heat, where the dross of fear, doubt, and ego are burned away. This is not a one-time battle, but an ongoing process of self-purification. It is the continuous forging of a mind that is clear, decisive, and free. When you master the inner game, when you free yourself from these internal shackles, then and only then can your physical and intellectual prowess truly blossom into unrestricted, authentic expression. This is the ultimate freedom, the true power of the living way. Chapter 8, Reading the Invisible, Perception, Deception, and Disruption. Chapter 8, Reading the Invisible, Perception, Deception, and Disruption. Man, listen. In combat, what you see is often not what you get, and what you don't see can be the very thing that brings you down. The untrained eye sees only flailing limbs and frantic movement. The master sees the subtle shift of weight, The flicker in the eye, the slight tensing of a muscle, the opening of a line, this is the invisible war. The battle for information, for advantage, fought with perception, deception, and the art of disruption. All the speed, all the power, all the technique in the world means little if you cannot first see the opening, create the opportunity, and control the flow. This chapter pulls back the curtain on the mental game, the intricate dance of reading, misleading, and breaking your opponent's will and capacity. Perception, seeing beyond the obvious. Your eyes, your ears, your very skin are sensors. But these sensors are only as good as the brain interpreting their input. Most people look without seeing, hear without listening. In JKD, we cultivate a heightened state of perception, an open awareness that gathers all available information without getting lost in the details. 1. The open eye and peripheral awareness. Do not stare, man. Staring fixates your vision, blinds you to what lies outside the tunnel. Learn to relax your gaze, taking in the entire panorama. Your peripheral vision is crucial for detecting subtle movements, changes in posture, the presence of other threats, or the environment around you. The ability to scan, process, and react to everything in your visual field is paramount. This is a trained skill, not a natural gift. 2. Reading the body's language. Pre-fights. Every action has a precursor. Before an attack, there's a shift of weight, a tensing of a shoulder, a micro-expression of intent. These are tells, the body's involuntary confession of its next move. Stance and balance. Observe how your opponent holds themselves. Is their weight evenly distributed? Are they rooted or light? A stable stance is a foundation for power. An unstable one is an invitation to exploit. Shoulders and hips. These are power generators. Any significant movement here often signals a committed strike or a change of direction. Learn to see the wind-up before the pitch. The eyes. The eyes often give away intent. Do they fixate on your head, your body? Are they darting around, signaling unease or a search for an opening? Direct eye contact can be a weapon of intimidation or a tool for connection. Learn to use and read it consciously. Breathing. Rapid, shallow breathing can betray anxiety or impending exertion. Deep, calm breathing indicates control. Learn to see beyond the surface into the rhythm of their inner state. 3. Environmental awareness, the silent partner. The fight does not happen in a vacuum. The ground beneath your feet, the walls, the objects in the space, the light, the sound, all are factors. Use them. Learn to maneuver your opponent into a disadvantageous position, e.g., against a wall where their footwork is restricted, or to utilize obstacles for your own advantage. Your environment is a third party in every confrontation. Train to make it your ally. 4. The silent conversation, sensitivity. Beyond visual cues, there is the subtle language of touch. In close quarters, through trapping hands or grappling, your body can read the opponent's intentions. Subtle pressure, a momentary rigidity, a shift in their center of gravity. These tactile signals communicate directly to your nervous system, allowing for instantaneous, often preemptive interception. This is the truth of feeling the opponent, and it bypasses the delays of conscious thought. 2. Deception, masking intent, creating illusion. To perceive accurately is half the battle. To mislead your opponent, to cloud their perception, to bait them into revealing their hand, that is the other, equally vital half. Deception is not dishonest, it is intelligent. It is the art of creating false flags, of appearing to offer one thing while preparing another. 1. Feints and false attacks, the flicker of intent. A feint is a calculated lie. It's an incomplete movement, a suggestion of an attack designed to draw a reaction without commitment. Drawing a parry. A quick lead hand feint to the head can force your opponent to raise their guard, exposing their body or legs. Drawing movement. A slight shift of weight, a fake step, can induce them to move, revealing their preferred direction or creating a moment of instability. Economic deception. A good feint uses minimal energy for maximum psychological impact. It's not about making a big show. It's about making a subtle suggestion that the opponent cannot afford to ignore. 2. Broken rhythm and timing. The unpredictable current. Most opponents fall into predictable rhythms. They attack on the beat in a pattern. To be predictable is to be vulnerable. Changing tempo. Accelerate suddenly, then slow down. Attack with a rapid-fire combination, then pause unexpectedly before the finish. This disrupts their ability to time your movements, creating hesitation. Offbeat attacks. Strike when they least expect it, from an unusual angle or with an unexpected speed. This creates moments of shock and disarray. And the unrhythmic fighter become like water flowing over rocks, always changing, always adapting, impossible to predict. 3. Misdirection. Guiding the gaze, diverting the mind. Lead the opponent's attention where you want it, away from where the true danger lies. High-low attacks. A feint high, attack low, or vice versa. The opponent's eyes and guard will follow the perceived threat, creating an opening elsewhere. Verbal misdirection. A sudden shout, a distracting question, anything to draw their focus away for a critical split second. Environmental misdirection, making them look at a perceived opening while your true attack comes from another angle. 4. The no-mind feint. At its highest level, deception is not a calculated tactic, but a spontaneous byproduct of your flow. When your movements are fluid and your intention pure, every motion becomes a potential threat, and every feint becomes an authentic suggestion. Your opponent is constantly guessing, constantly reacting to a threat that may or may not fully materialize. 3. Disruption, breaking the opponent's flow. Deception sets the stage. Disruption breaks their will, shatters their balance, and fragments their capacity to fight back. It's about dismantling their ability to perceive, react, and execute. 1. Breaking balance, off-balancing. An opponent without balance has no power, no mobility, no defense. Footwork exploitation. Force them to overstep, to pivot awkwardly, to move into an unstable position. Push and pull tactics. Use a sudden push or pull to disrupt their center of gravity, then capitalize on their recovery. Attacking the base. Kicks to the shins, knees, or even a well-timed sweep can instantly compromise their foundation. 2. Breaking timing, rhythm. Once you've established unpredictable timing, use it to your advantage. Attack, just as they're about to move, or just after they've committed. Interrupt their combinations. Don't let them establish their rhythm. Force them to constantly adapt to your chaos. 3. Breaking vision and focus. A confused mind makes mistakes, obscure their sight, flood their senses. Direct attacks to the eyes. A finger jab is a devastating tool for distraction and temporary blindness, creating critical openings. Hand traps and obscuration. Use your hands not just to strike or control, but to briefly block their vision, forcing them to guess where the next attack will come from. Sensory overload. Combine rapid, varied attacks, e.g. low kick, high punch, then a close-range elbow, to overload their processing capacity, creating a momentary paralysis. 4. The element of surprise. The unseen attack. The ultimate disruption. Attack when least expected, from an unexpected angle, with an unexpected weapon. This is often born from pure spontaneity, a result of deep training that allows you to act the moment an opening presents itself, without hesitation. It catches the opponent cold before their brain can even process the threat. Reading the invisible, deploying deception, and mastering disruption are not dirty tricks, man. They are fundamental elements of intelligent combat. They are about understanding the human animal, its reactions, its vulnerabilities, and its limitations. When these skills are combined with physical prowess and an unshakable will, you become a truly formidable force, adaptive, unpredictable, and devastatingly effective. This is the mastery of the subtle game, the truth of your living way. Chapter 9, The Digital Dojo, Technology as a Catalyst for Self-Discovery. Chapter 9, The Digital Dojo, Technology as a Catalyst for Self-Discovery. Man, in my day, our tools were simple: a heavy bag, wooden dummy, focus mitts, a stopwatch, and the most crucial of all, a live, resisting opponent. We had notebooks for our thoughts, pencils for our sketches, and endless hours for brutal, honest self-analysis. We had our bodies, our minds, and the relentless pursuit of what works. Today, the landscape is different. You live in a world buzzing with innovation, a constant hum of new devices and data streams. Technology, once a distant concept, now integrates itself into the very fabric of your daily existence. It can be a relentless distraction, as we explored in Chapter 2, but when wielded with the discerning eye of the JKD practitioner, it can also be a powerful ally. Think of it as another source to absorb what is useful. Technology, in its truest sense, is a tool. And a tool, when understood and skillfully applied, can amplify your natural abilities, reveal unseen patterns, and accelerate your path to self-discovery. This digital dojo is not a replacement for sweat, blood, and honest friction, but a catalyst to sharpen your insights and refine your training. Wearable tech and biometrics, your body's secret language. Your body speaks volumes, constantly communicating its state, its readiness, its fatigue. Historically, we relied on crude measures: how you felt, how quickly you got winded, the visible signs of recovery. Today, personal biometric technology allows you to listen to your body's secret language with unprecedented clarity. 1. Heart rate variability, HRV, the mirror of recovery. HRV measures the tiny variations in the time intervals between your heartbeats. It's a powerful, non-invasive window into your autonomic nervous system. A higher, more variable HRV generally indicates a well-recovered, adaptable system, ready for high-intensity training. A lower, less variable HRV can signal stress, overtraining, illness, or poor recovery. JKD application. Use HRV to guide your training intensity. If your HRV is consistently low, perhaps today is a day for active recovery, light drilling, or focused mobility rather than pushing to the absolute limit. It teaches you to flow with your body's internal current, adapting your training to its actual readiness, not just your predetermined schedule. 2. Sleep tracking, the foundation of regeneration. We've emphasized sleep as the ultimate performance enhancer. Chapter 6. Wearable technology can now provide detailed insights into your sleep architecture, time spent in deep sleep, REM sleep, light sleep, wakefulness, and even disturbances like snoring. JKD application. Objectively identify patterns that disrupt your sleep quality. Is late night screen time impacting your deep sleep? Is an evening coffee affecting your REM cycles? Use this data to refine your sleep hygiene and optimize your regeneration. Understanding your sleep patterns is understanding a fundamental aspect of your body's ability to recover and adapt. 3. Activity and training load, monitoring, mapping your effort. Beyond simply counting steps, modern wearables can estimate your daily energy expenditure, track the intensity and duration of your workouts, and even provide a calculated training load. This helps you visualize your cumulative effort over time. JKD application. Use this data to manage your training volume effectively. Are you consistently undertraining or overtraining? Is your intensity matching your recovery capacity? These insights help prevent plateaus and overtraining, ensuring continuous, sustainable progress without burnout. It allows you to become more precise in your self-assessment, moving beyond just how I feel to what the data shows. 2. The warning: technology is servant, not master. Here, my friend, is where discernment becomes paramount. Technology, for all its power, is a double-edged sword. It offers knowledge, but it can also foster dependency, disconnect you from your own innate wisdom, and create new forms of intellectual clutter. 1. The over-reliance trap. Do not surrender your intuition to the algorithm. Your body's internal sensations, the burn in your muscles, the subtle fatigue, the feeling of flow, the instinctive read of an opponent are primary. Biometric data is a valuable supplement, a secondary source of information, never the sole determinant. If your HRV tracker says you're recovered but your body screams exhaustion, listen to your body. The data supports your self-knowledge. It does not replace it. 2. The data overload. Delusion. Just as we empty the digital cup of noise, be selective with your biometric data. Not every metric is useful. Focus on the few that provide actionable insights for your specific goals. Obsessing over every data point can lead to analysis paralysis, creating more mental clutter than clarity. Remember, strip away the inessential. 3. The screen as a barrier. Technology is meant to enhance your connection to your body, your training, and your opponent, not to become a barrier. Training is an embodied experience. Don't let your eyes be glued to a screen when they should be fixed on the shifting balance of your sparring partner or the subtle cues of your own movement. The truth is found in direct experience, not reflected light. Technology, when approached with a JKD mindset, absorb what is useful, discard what is useless, add what is uniquely your own, can be a potent catalyst for self-discovery. It offers objective feedback, helps you listen to your body's subtle signals, and empowers you to make more informed decisions about your training and recovery. But always remember, the true dojo is within you. The most advanced technology is your own senses, your own mind, your own body. Use these digital tools to sharpen those innate capacities, to accelerate your understanding, and to refine your path. Never let them dilute the raw, unvarnished truth that comes only from direct, lived experience. This is the art of wielding your digital tools in harmony with your living way. Chapter 10. The Global Proving Ground. Community and Collective Evolution. Chapter 10. The Global Proving Ground. Community and Collective Evolution. Man, in my life, the path of the martial artist was often a solitary one. I sought out masters, yes, absorbed from boxers, fencers, Wing Chun practitioners. But much of my internal struggle, my experimentation, my forging of JKD happened in my own dojo, in my own head, against my own limits. The insights I gained were hard-won, often through isolating myself to distill the essential. Today, the landscape is different. The barriers of geography and tradition are dissolving. The internet, that vast buzzing network, has transformed the world into a single, colossal dojo. And within this digital space lies an unprecedented opportunity to connect, to learn, to spar, and to evolve with a global community of practitioners. This, my friend, is the global proving ground. I, the networked practitioner, connecting beyond borders. No longer are you confined to the wisdom of your local sensei or the insights found within your city limits. The digital age has brought the world to your fingertips, offering a vast array of perspectives, experiences, and applications. 1. Finding your friction. Platforms like ours and others are specifically designed to bridge the gap. They allow you to find other practitioners, often in your own locality, who share your hunger for honest training and rigorous self-inquiry. The proving ground feature. This isn't just a place to find a sparring partner, it's a dedicated space to seek out friction, to test your understanding, your conditioning, your mental fortitude against live, resisting human beings. It transforms the often isolated pursuit of martial arts into a shared, dynamic experience. Shared drills and concepts. Engage in discussions about specific techniques, training methodologies, or philosophical concepts. How does a practitioner in Tokyo apply economy of motion differently than one in New York? What insights can a grappler offer to a striker and vice versa when discussing interception? 2. Breaking geographical and stylistic barriers. In my time, I had to physically travel, sometimes for months, to learn from different masters. Today, a world of knowledge is accessible with a click. You can observe training footage from diverse martial arts you might never encounter locally. You can participate in online forums where practitioners from different disciplines discuss their absorptions and discardings. This global exchange accelerates the process of absorbing what is useful from a far wider range of sources than ever before imagined. 2. Collaborative learning. The collective mind. JKD, by its very nature, encourages borrowing, adapting, and integrating. It seeks truth wherever it may be found. The global community amplifies this process, allowing for a form of collective intelligence to emerge. 1. The power of diverse perspectives. Your personal truth is sharpened against the grindstone of others' experiences. Someone from a different background, with a different body type, training in a different climate, will offer a unique perspective on a shared principle. This diversity forces you to question your assumptions, broaden your understanding, and avoid the trap of a single narrow viewpoint. 2. Learning from success and failure. Online platforms allow for the sharing of insights derived from countless hours of training and real-world application. A practitioner might share a drill that unlocked a new level of footwork for them, or detail a mistake that led to a critical realization. Learning from others' journeys, their triumphs and their missteps, is an invaluable accelerant for your own growth. 3. Community as collective analysis and refinement. Consider the discussions that can happen around a shared video on our proving ground. 10 different pairs of eyes, each bringing their own experience, can dissect a movement, point out a subtle tell, suggest an alternative entry. This collective analysis is a dynamic feedback loop, far more comprehensive than what one individual could achieve alone. It is JKD's discard what is useless and add what is uniquely your own, played out on a grand scale. 3. The pitfalls of online dogma, navigating the digital noise. Like any powerful tool, the global proving ground comes with its own dangers. The very connectivity that can accelerate growth can also, if not approached with discernment, lead to new forms of stagnation and illusion. 1. Opinion versus truth, the echo chamber. The internet is a cacophony of opinions. Everyone has one and everyone can voice it. It is easy to mistake loudest voices for deepest wisdom. You must remain vigilant, cultivating your critical thinking. Is what is being said rooted in principle, tested in reality, or is it merely theoretical speculation, unchallenged dogma? Your personal verification remains paramount. 2. Keyboard warriors and the illusion of mastery. It is easy to debate, criticize, and offer expert advice from behind a screen. But true JKD is lived, felt, and forged in the friction of genuine application. Beware the keyboard warrior who possesses vast theoretical knowledge, but shies away from actual physical testing. Their cup is full of talk, not truth. 3. New gurus and the comparison trap. The digital world is rife with influencers and new gurus selling the latest system, or promising instant mastery? Maintain your JKD skepticism. Do they empower your personal truth, or do they demand your adherence to theirs? Furthermore, the constant scrolling through perfectly edited highlight reels can lead to the comparison trap, breeding insecurity and self-doubt rather than inspiration. Remember your own unique path and focus on your growth, not someone else's curated facade. 4. Cultivating a JKD online ethos, responsibility and respect. To harness the power of this global proving ground, we must cultivate an ethos that reflects the highest principles of JKD, respectful challenge. Engage with respect, challenge ideas, not individuals. Criticism should always be constructive, aimed at clarity and growth, never at tearing down. Focus on principles. When discussing techniques or movements, always bring it back to the underlying JKD principles. Why does it work? What attributes does it cultivate? How does it embody directness, efficiency, or adaptability? Share your truth, not the truth. When you share your insights or experiences, frame them as what works for me or what I discovered in my own testing. Avoid pronouncements of universal dogma. Your truth is powerful because it is yours. Encourage application. Remind each other that the digital conversation is merely a preparation for the real work. Encourage others to take ideas offline into their own training, into their own crucible. The global proving ground is a phenomenal opportunity, my friend. It offers a boundless sea of knowledge and connection. But like all powerful forces, it demands your conscious engagement, your critical discernment, and your unwavering commitment to your own personal truth. Use it wisely, and it will accelerate your journey to mastering your living way. Chapter 11, Your Living JKD, The Art of Personal Integration. Part Phi, The Unfolding Way, Continuous Self-Mastery, Integrating all knowledge into a living, evolving practice. Chapter 11, Your Living. JKD, The Art of Personal Integration. Man, we've walked a long road together. We've torn down the walls of dogma, sharpened the tools of the body and mind, peered into the invisible dance of perception and deception, and even learned to navigate the swirling currents of the digital age. But if you walk away from these pages with a head full of concepts and a body full of drills without truly understanding how to make it your own, then I have failed you. This entire journey, this relentless inquiry, this stripping away of the inessential has but one ultimate purpose: to lead you to your living JKD. This is not a JKD that you do, it is a JKD that you are. It is the seamless, unconscious integration of all these principles, attributes, and insights into a singular, flowing, unrestricted expression that is uniquely you. It is the art of personal integration. I, the synthesis, weaving the tapestry of self. Remember the water. It embraces the form of the cup. It flows around obstacles. It can be gentle or it can crash. It doesn't analyze its options. It simply is. Your living JKD is this state of integrated being, where the lessons of every chapter become a natural, spontaneous part of your fabric. 1. Bridging the physical and mental. The body is not separate from the mind. Your footwork is a physical expression of your awareness. Your striking power is amplified by your focused intent. Your resilience in a physical exchange is a direct reflection of your mental fortitude. True integration means these are not two distinct spheres, but an unbroken circle, each informing and strengthening the other. The Kinetic Body, Chapter 4, and the Neural Network, Chapter 5, are two sides of the same coin. 2. From theory to embodiment. It's one thing to understand Be Like Water intellectually. It's another to embody it so deeply that in the heat of a confrontation, your body naturally flows, yields, and adapts without conscious thought. This comes from tireless application, repeated pressure testing in the proving ground, and honest reflection. You must move beyond knowing the principles to becoming the principles. 3. The interconnectedness of all learning. JKD is not just martial arts. The discipline you learn in conditioning, Chapter 6, spills over into your daily life. The mental clarity you cultivate, Chapter 2, enhances your relationships and decision-making. The ability to read intentions, Chapter 8, applies in business and social interactions. Your Living JKD is a holistic martial philosophy that permeates every aspect of your existence. It is not something you turn on and off. It is the fundamental operating system of your being. 2. The cycles of mastery, an endless ascension. Many seek mastery as a destination, a peak to be conquered. But true mastery, the JKD kind, is not a summit. It is an infinite journey, a continuous loop of learning, applying, reflecting, and adapting. 1. The spiral of growth. You will never arrive. The moment you think you have, you become stagnant, rigid. Life, like combat, is constantly evolving. What worked yesterday might not work today. You must perpetually cycle through learning, absorbing new information, techniques, principles, applying, testing that learning in practice against resistance, reflecting, honestly analyzing the results, what worked, what didn't, why, adapting, modifying your understanding, refining your approach. This is not a linear progression, it's a spiral where each loop takes you to a higher, deeper level of understanding. 2. Embracing imperfection. The pursuit of perfection is a noble one, but the rigid demand for it is a trap. JKD embraces imperfection, seeing it not as failure, but as data. Every mistake, every misstep, every moment of confusion is a valuable piece of information telling you where to refine, where to adapt. Your Living JKD acknowledges flaws, learns from them, and flows past them. It's about progress, not static perfection. 3. The art of letting go. Mastery often means having the courage to unlearn, to discard the very things that once served you well but now limit your growth. This requires a profound humility, a willingness to be a beginner again and again. It's the ultimate act of dying to the old self, as discussed in The Art of Dying. To create space for new growth, you must constantly prune. 3. The unique expression, your truth in motion. My JKD was mine, your JKD must be yours. This is the central, non-negotiable truth. 1. Beyond imitation. Do not seek to move like me or like any other master. Seek to move like yourself. My techniques, my movements, were extensions of my body, my attributes, my spirit. Yours must be too. Take the principles, internalize them, and then allow your own unique expression to emerge. Your body type, your natural strengths, your individual temperament. These are the raw materials for your art. 2. Authenticity in action. Your Living JKD is an honest reflection of who you are, unburdened by external expectations or borrowed forms. It is your truth in motion, whether in a physical confrontation, a challenging negotiation, or a moment of quiet reflection. There is a profound beauty and power in authenticity. 3. The continual becoming. Your Living JKD is never static. It is always evolving, always adapting, always becoming. It is a testament to your unwavering commitment to self-discovery, to growth, to living a life without limitation. It is the art of being fully, vibrantly alive in every moment, ready to meet whatever comes with an open mind and a courageous heart. This is the ultimate aim of Jeet Kune Do, my friend, not to teach you how to fight, but to teach you how to be, to liberate you from limitations, both external and internal, to empower you to express your truest, most effective self in every facet of your existence. This is your Living JKD. Forge it, live it, be it. Man, listen closely. Many look at martial arts and see only violence, only fighting. They see punching, kicking, grappling. But for me, the martial arts were never merely about physical confrontation. They were a profound laboratory for understanding life itself. The truths I discovered in the sweat and struggle of the dojo, in the unpredictable chaos of sparring, these were not confined to the fight. They were universal, a blueprint for living a life of purpose, authenticity, and continuous growth. Your Living JKD, that integrated, fluid, and unrestricted expression of yourself, is not something you switch off when you leave the training mat. It is a philosophy, a way of being, that profoundly impacts every facet of your existence. This final chapter is about recognizing and applying JKD's core principles to the grandest, most complex, and most rewarding fight of all, the fight for a fully realized life. I marshal philosophy in daily life, JKD's universal truths. The principles we have relentlessly explored are not abstract concepts. They are actionable guides for navigating the relentless currents of existence. 1. Adaptability. Be like water. In combat, flowing, yielding, changing form to meet any opposition. In life, how often do you cling to rigid plans, outdated opinions, or fixed notions of how things should be? Life is a continuous flux. Adaptability means embracing change, letting go of what's no longer serving you, and responding intelligently and spontaneously to unforeseen circumstances. It's about being resilient, not rigid, in your career, relationships, and personal journey. When you encounter a setback, do you crash against it, or do you flow around it, finding a new path? 2. Directness, simplicity, efficiency, stripping away the inessential. In combat, the shortest path to the target, no wasted motion, maximum effect with minimum effort. In life, how much clutter exists in your life, in your schedule, in your communication, in your relationships. Directness means cutting through bureaucracy, saying what needs to be said clearly, focusing on core tasks, and eliminating activities that drain your energy without contributing to your purpose. It's about clarity of thought and decisive action in everything you do. 3. Interception. Meeting the attack before it fully manifests. In combat, reading an opponent's intention, stopping the attack at its inception. In life, this is about proactive living. It's about anticipating challenges in your career or relationships, addressing small problems before they become crises, and taking preventative measures for your health and well-being. It's about intelligent forecasting, not just reactive problem solving. 4. Honest self-expression, finding your own way. In combat, developing a personal fighting method that suits your body, your attributes, your truth. In life, this is the core of authenticity. Are you living a life dictated by others' expectations, or are you charting a course that is true to your deepest values and aspirations? Your career, your passions, your relationships, they must all be arenas for your unique expression. This demands courage, a willingness to be misunderstood, and an unwavering trust in your inner compass. The art of living, the art of dying, the ultimate integration. I told you, man, that the art of dying was never just a line. It was a profound philosophical truth, deeply interwoven with the art of living. They are two sides of the same coin, each defining and enhancing the other. 1. Dying to the old, living to the new. Continuous transformation. JKD demands that you constantly die to outdated ideas, to limiting beliefs, to comfortable but stagnant habits. Every day, every moment is an opportunity for renewal. To truly live is to embrace this continuous process of letting go, of shedding skins, of being reborn. Embracing impermanence. Life is change, nothing lasts. Attachment to outcomes, to possessions, to relationships, to past glories, these are shackles. The art of dying is the art of accepting impermanence, finding freedom in detachment, and cherishing the fleeting beauty of each present moment. 2. Conquering the inner opponents, fear, doubt, ego. The Inner Crucible, Chapter 7, is not a one-time battle. Fear of failure can paralyze your entrepreneurial spirit. Doubt can sabotage your relationships. Ego can blind you to crucial feedback in your career. The same relentless self-inquiry, the same courage to face your internal shadows that you cultivate in martial arts is essential for navigating the psychological landscape of a fulfilling life. 3. Living fully in the present moment. When you empty your digital cup, Chapter 2, when you conquer the inner noise of fear, doubt, and ego, what remains? Only the absolute, vibrant, undeniable now. This is where life truly happens. JKD trains you to be fully present, fully aware, fully responsive to the moment before you. It means engaging with every task, every conversation, every experience with total immersion and vital intensity. 3. The legacy of freedom, your ultimate contribution. Your journey through JKD, this living way, culminates not just in personal mastery, but in something far greater, your impact on the world. 1. Inspiring authenticity. When you live a life of authentic self-expression, when you move with clarity and purpose, you become a beacon. You inspire others not to follow your way, but to discover their own. Your life itself becomes a testament to the power of breaking free from limitation. 2. The ripple effect. The discipline, the integrity, the adaptability you cultivate, these qualities don't just benefit you. They radiate outward. They make you a better leader, a more compassionate partner, a more effective problem solver in your community. Your Living JKD creates a ripple effect, improving the lives of those around you. 3. A life without limitation. JKD's ultimate promise is not invincibility in a fight, but freedom in life. Freedom from internal constraints, freedom from external dogma, freedom to be your truest, most potent self. This freedom is your ultimate contribution, your legacy. So, my friend, this is the blueprint. This is the living way. It is a call to continuous evolution, to a life lived without compromise, without pretense, without limitation. Take these truths, absorb them, test them, and forge them into the unstoppable current of your own unique existence. The fight is never truly over, but the path, the way, is endless. And that, man, is the most exciting journey of all. Conclusion, a final challenge. Conclusion, a final challenge. All right, my friend, you've journeyed through these pages, you've wrestled with concepts, absorbed insights, and perhaps even felt the stirring of a deeper understanding within your own being. You've been given tools, principles, and a way of seeing the world and yourself with greater clarity. But let me be absolutely direct now more than ever. This book is useless if it simply sits on your shelf. It is not a final answer. It is not a doctrine to be memorized and recited. This is merely a map drawn by a man who walked his own path. Your journey, your terrain, your challenges, they are uniquely yours. My ultimate teaching, my final challenge to you is this. Question everything. Do not accept a single word I've written or a single idea you've learned elsewhere without putting it to the test. Subject it to the crucible of your own experience. Does it work for you? Does it resonate with your truth? Does it make you more effective, more alive, more free? If it doesn't, discard it, without hesitation, without sentimentality. Test relentlessly. Take these principles, directness, adaptability, efficiency. Take the cultivation of your attributes, speed, timing, power, awareness. Apply them in the dojo, in the gym, in the office, in your relationships. Seek the friction, embrace the resistance. Learn from every encounter, from every success, and especially from every failure. Your body is your laboratory. Your life is your proving ground. Grow continuously. The moment you stop questioning, the moment you stop testing, the moment you believe you have arrived or found the answer, you begin to die. True growth is an infinite process, a relentless journey of discovery. Be open, be curious, be like water, always flowing, always adapting, always seeking its own path. The way is not mine. It is not external. The way is within you. It is the path of your own becoming. It demands courage, honesty, and an unyielding commitment to your personal truth. So go. Don't waste another moment. Don't be held captive by fear, by doubt, by ego, or by the illusions of a cluttered world. Step onto your path. Engage with life with total vital intensity. The way is open. The challenge is yours. Now go forge your JKD.